Shivdasani from India. She has 4 collections of poems. She's co-translator of an anthology of Sindhi partition poetry and has edited anthologies for Sparrow and for bigbridge.org, a widely published poet. Menka has received the Ethos Literary Award, the Eunice D'Souza Award, and the Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize. Menka, please take the stage. Thank you very much for sharing your poems.
Thank you, Wakas. Greetings from India. I'm trying to get used to the camera on the side of my iPad. I could not log in through my computer, so if the angles are all wrong, pardon me. I had planned 3 poems, timed them for 5 minutes, but I will only go with 2 in the interest of time. The first is called Iron Woman. There are 2 versions of this poem. I'm going to read the shorter one. Iron Woman. Woman of iron from an exploded star, I embed myself in a crusty earth that waits for the sun to rise. Hammer me into sheets, stretch me into wires. I will turn into a plow or light up the world in return. Freed from the meteorite with lightning tongue, I expand without breaking. You may melt me and mix me. I emerge even purer, magnetic, and ready to strike. I am woman in her element. And the second poem I'm going to read, which will also be the last, it's a tribute to Michael Rothenberg, which I thought would be appropriate for an event like this. A few months before he passed away, he sent me a poem, a long poem that he'd written, in which he had these lines. Here comes the radiation, even though the fragrance of gardenias makes me want to live forever. So here's my poem, 1,000 Gardenias Bloom. In my country, where jasmines grow, gardenias are special from a faraway land. Their fragrance wafts halfway across the world. Solitary in their grandeur, they lean towards the light. Through morning sun and afternoon shade, evergreen in expansive fields. In my country, the air does not turn cold, but I shivered from afar when the snow turned grey and root rot chilled your being. The earth heaved beneath its blanket of ice, but I was elsewhere and could not feel its tremors deep beneath the skin. I know you held on, sturdy as gardenias do, until one final gust ripped you from the stem. I feel the cold now, and the petals have lost their sheen. But in this field of gardenias, 100,000 flowers grow, spreading. And I know you are in them all, spreading the light, unfurling the fragrance that wafts across the world. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Menka. Really appreciate you. This is the first time you're participating in our event, but you've organized 100,000 Poets for Change yourself as well. Appreciate your participation very much. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll go now to Basudhara Roy from India. Basudhara Roy teaches at Kareem City College, affiliated with Kolhan University, Chaibasa. She writes on themes of gender and ecology, has published 4 critical monographs and 3 collections of poems. Basudhara, please share your poems with us. Thank you very much. You've been a regular for the last few years, and I really, really am grateful that you're able to share your poems again this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be here. Am I audible clearly?
Sorry?
Am I clearly audible?
Yes,
Right.
you can hear, right?
Thank you so much. So I'm so happy to be here, and Agnes Scott College feels like home. Also, I'm glad to meet Ilona once again. And this is a poem, incidentally, which Ilona first published in the Aleph Review. So, Ilona, this is for you, and this poem is titled Woman to Woman. All I'm trying to say is that it won't ever be the way you see it in your mind's eye. Between where you are and where you want to go will always be this river of them that won't be content with flowing the way it is meant. In its flash flood each day, it must enter you, churn its muddy depths in your blood, inoculate you against desire, ambition, hope, even need, till you believe that to breathe is enough. Their air, a gift to you. Realize there are 1,000 ways for the mind to fight back, for noise to pierce through silence. I was wrong. I chose that trial by fire. Valiant in piety over flames, this body unscathed for all to see, my furrowed heart kept burning, tireless, unquenched, even as I sought the earth's depths for solace. For daring to step out of their circle, led by my yearning for that one supple headed hydra, but their river I had swallowed. In the mind's eye, people will always be more perfect than they are. The wisdom of rulers greater than that of plebeians. Love over and above all else. When betrayal strikes, the peace of silence beckons. But generations hence, I know no silence remains sacrosanct.
Okay.
It haunts history and must every day be exorcised,
Here because
filled with color, form,
okay.
noise,
Okay.
cut into strips, sold for a price. Words certainly are no more fortunate, for they'll be tied, twisted, blurred, erased to meet meanings, to tell their tales. But if life is a tree, it's always better to choose words over silence, to sow syllables, notes, so that what grows is green, spoken, seen in the wisdom of bark, the camaraderie of leaves, in tired birds coming to roost. I think of myself in Ashok Vatika, wooed to hope with a signet ring. That's how life grows from without to within. There will be no dearth of fetters, rivers, circles, rings. What will matter is to grow what is in you, never what they sound. To sing of what rushes in your veins, to know who you are once you have abandoned their name. Refuse to acknowledge as yours the branches and flowers painted in their mirrors. Remember, only when you draw sap from the earth's breast, home the earth firm in your soil. Only when the sky stretches above you, free, and winds from all four directions lap against your limbs, only then know that you have arrived. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Basithara. Really appreciate your participation. Our next reader, our next poet is our much revered poet from Poland, Alicja Kubreska. I am very grateful that you are here with us, Alicja, to share your poems. Alicja has been awarded many awards for her poetry as a novelist. She's a journalist, she's an editor, she's a translator. She's edited several volumes and anthologies of both Polish and English poetry. And again, she's widely published as well. Alicja, please share your poems with us if you're ready. Thank you so much. Can't hear you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for your kind invitation. I will read in Polish and you can see this poem in English because I guess that nobody can understand me. It's very difficult language. Prorocze sny. Starannie wyplotę ci z włosów słoneczne promienie i śpiew skowronka. Zaplotę księżycową poświatę i słowicze trele. Spójrz, oto zasypia strudzony dzień, a w mroku rodzą się półprzezroczyste sny. Już pora, by wyruszyć daleką podróż w nieznane, przemierzyć bezkresną pustynię nieba. Pójdźmy tam, gdzie pod stopami skrzą się gwiazdy i spada na ziemię pył spełnionych marzeń. Zagrajmy ulubioną melodię na strunach czasu, a przeszłość przeniknie do teraźniejszości. Wspomnienia nabiorą soczystych barw i ożywią zapomniane, minione chwile. Zawędrujemy na koniec mlecznej drogi, by powrócić nieśpiesznie nad ranem. Zapomnijmy ujawnione tajemnice wszechświata. Znikną eteryczne sny w powłóczystych szatach, szepczące w zaufaniu prorocze wizje. And the next poem of woman. In Polish, it's kobieta. I know that in Bangla language means poet. Yeah? Kobieta. Mówiono jej, że jest piękna, jak dziewczyna z renesansowego portretu. Wiotka jak trzcina i słaba jak bluszcz. Uwierzyła, że musi znaleźć mężczyznę potężnego i podobnego do dębu. Wywić się wśród konarów, podążać w kierunku słońca i błyszczeć w złotych promieniach. Przyszła nawałnica. Roztrzaskała wielkie drzewo. Piorun spalił wspaniałą koronę. Nie zostało nic. Nadal jest piękna, jak dama ze starego portretu. Zrozumiała, że wiatr nie połamie trzciny, bluszcz potrafi spinać się po skałach i zmierzać w kierunku gwiazd. Thank you very much.
Alicia, thank you very much for reading poems in obviously the language of their composition, your own language. I'm going to share those poems. I'm taking the liberty of reading the translations of the poems that you read, so that our audience can share in that as well. This one is called Prophetic Dreams. That was the first one. I will plait carefully your hair, the sun's rays and the singing of the lark, and I will weave the moonlight and nightingale's thrills. Look, here the weary day falls asleep, and in the darkness, translucent dreams are born. It's time to set off on a long journey into the unknown, to traverse the endless desert of the sky. Let us go where the stars sparkle beneath our feet and the dust of fulfilled dreams falls to earth. Let's play a favorite tune on the strings of time, and the past will penetrate into the present. The memories will take on vivid colors, and forgotten, bygone moments will come to life. We will go to the end of the Milky Way, to return unhurriedly in the morning. We will forget the revealed secrets of the universe. Ethereal dreams in flowing robes will disappear, whispering prophetic visions in confidence. Second poem is Woman. She was told she was beautiful, like a girl from a Renaissance portrait, limp as a reed and weak as an ivy. She believed she needed to find a man, mighty and oak-like, to ride among the branches, follow the sun, and sparkle in the golden rays. The storm has come. It shattered the great tree. Lightning burned the magnificent crown. There's nothing left. She's still beautiful, like a lady from an old portrait. She understood that the wind would not break the reed. The ivy can climb rocks and head towards the stars. Thank you very much, Alicia, for your participation here. I will move on to our next poet. And next poet is also, by the way, from Poland, Agnieszka Jarzebowska. And she is going to read her poems in Polish. And maybe I can also share the translations for those poems. Thank you very much, Agnieszka, for being here. Let me just quickly introduce you. She's a poet, author, satirical and of satirical and lyrical literature, member of the Poets After Hours Informal Group, and honorary member of the Jena Literary Club. Her works have been translated into 20 languages. and she has been a guest at many international poetry festivals, has won numerous awards. Most welcome to this event, Agnieszka. Please go ahead and share your poems.
Greetings from Poland. Dodek, zapytaj Ewy, co mogą powiedzieć dłonie. Ona ci wszystko namaluje. Dłonie z filiżanką opowiedzą kruchość. Dłonie z dzbanem pragnienie. Dłonie z czereśniami apetyt. Dłonie z kwiatem lilii niewinność. Dłonie z szydełkową robótką cierpliwość. Dłonie z parą szpilek zmęczenie po balu. I jeszcze, i jeszcze, i jeszcze wszystko, co trzymasz w dłoniach, opowiada. A kiedy już cię nie będzie, rękawiczki opowiedzą nieobecność. Second. Przez 2,5 roku zbierał z rąk głucho niewidomych monologi o tym, co jako ostatnie widzieli w życiu. O tym, co jako ostatnie widzieli w życiu. Myślał, jak przywrócić stan graniczny, kiedy w życiu człowieka zapaliło się światło i nagle ktoś je zgasił. I nadeszła ciemność. To, co nam się nie przydarza, nie istnieje. A jednak dłoń przyłożona do dłoni opowiadała. Ręce są oczami głucho niewidomych. Z tego, co było widzialne i słyszalne, pozostał tylko dotyk i wiara, że ty, widzący i słyszący, zobaczysz coś więcej niż czubki własnych butów. And last. Ziemia wyrzuciła z siebie łuskę po naboju, starą, zardzewiałą monetę, płytkę paleolitycznego kamienia. Zabierzcie swoje skarby, nie będę ich przechowywać. Nie jestem muzeum. Nie lubię się przeglądać w zawartości trumien. Chcę rodzić. Witam deszcz. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Agnieszka. Quickly, again, for our Zoom audience, maybe they've been able to see the translations, but I'm just going to read them quickly as well. Touch 1. On the margins of the exhibition of paintings by Eva Golinska Pisarkiewicz, pardon, that means mutilation of the name. Ask Eva what hands can say. She will paint you everything. Hands with a cup will tell fragility. Hands with a pitcher, thirst. Hands with cherries, appetite. Hands with a lily flower, innocence. Hands with crotchet, patience. Hands with a pair of pins, fatigue after the ball. And more and more and more. Everything you hold in your hands tells a story. And when you are gone, gloves will tell the absence. Touch 2. For 2.5 years, he collected from his hands deaf-blind monologues about what was the last thing they saw in their lives, about the last thing they heard in their lives. He thought how to restore the limit state when a light came on in a person's life and suddenly someone put them out and darkness came. What doesn't happen to us does not exist, but the hand she spoke in her hand, the hands are the eyes of the deaf-blind. From what was seen and heard, only touch and faith remained, that you, the seer and the hearer, will see something more than the toes of your own shoes. The earth threw up a shell casing, an old rusty coin, a piece of Paleolithic stone. Take your treasures. I will not keep them. I am not a museum. I don't like looking at myself in the contents of the coffin. I want to give birth. I greet the rain. Thank you, Agnieszka, for your participation. Really appreciate it.